Hello, I'm Terry Scott. I'm the program director for the MEDEX program, and congratulations to all the graduates. I want to be one of the first to congratulate you on such a wonderful accomplishment. Today recognizes your grit and determination on becoming a physician assistant. I want to say on behalf of the faculty and staff how proud we are that each and every one of you have made it to this day, and that each and every one of you are going to make significant contributions in the lives of your patients. As I think about the next 20 to 30 years, I look forward to seeing your careers unfold, to see the difference that you'll make in your communities, whether those are rural or underserved urban communities. The one thing that we enjoy as faculty and staff here at MEDEX is to watch our graduates go out and do wonderful and great things. Whether you choose primary care or specialty care, you are needed. And you're needed more so now than ever. The stress of the last 2.5 years has strained this nation and this world in ways that none of us could have predicted in 2020. Now, 2.5 years later, I want to commend you for staying with it to accomplish this goal. Now, as you think about the future, today is the end of your journey with MEDEX, but it is a beginning of sorts. Your career now unfolds. You'll be sitting for the national boards in a few weeks. Give it your best. And after that, you'll be starting your new career as a physician assistant. Take care of yourself as you take care of others. But also be mindful of the fact that you'll be joining a workforce that has been battered and beaten over the last 2.5 years. You are needed so much, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you for sticking with this and for choosing healthcare at this time. On behalf of the MEDEX program and the University of Washington, I want to congratulate you and wish you nothing but the best on your career.
Good morning. Not bad. Good morning. My name is Michael DeRosa. I am the Distant Campus Coordinator, I guess that's my title this week, of the Tacoma campus of the MEDEX Physician Assistant Program. It's my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you this morning to this graduation ceremony for the 8th cohort at Tacoma, TC8 as we affectionately call them, and part of the overall MEDEX class of 2022. So welcome. Thank you for being with us today. After 23 years in PA education and probably more than 50 ceremonies like this, I know a few things about this day, I think. And I'm going to share some of those things with you. It's a fun day, right? It's a nice day. It's culmination, like you're going to hear. It's a day where you're going to get a lot of free advice from people like me. And we're going to try, as we have in some form of this collective for the last several years, to get through, and you're going to humor us, as you have for several years. And we appreciate that. Thank you. That's the appropriate response. Some of that advice you're going to remember, and some of it you're not. But it's all very well-intentioned, and it's all because we're proud to be here today. We look forward to you as colleagues, and we want you to know some things about what it means to be a PA. I also know that there's probably no one in this cohort who took the path that they visualized and the path that they intended to this day. Now, that's obvious and that's easy to say because over the last several years, the entire world has been taken sideways by what has happened. But I'm going to suggest that in my experience, that's been true of almost every PA student I've ever seen. It's unusual for a PA student to get to this day without something coming up, without life getting in the way, without family, without illness, without some obstruction. Maybe it was pharmacology or basic science, or I don't know. You know what I mean? The circumstances that you have experienced were extraordinarily unique. And you are here because of a great deal of grit, as Terry said. What was the word the other day? Resilience. See, I got it in there. And commitment and dedication. That's something to be proud of. And it helps to, it's a crucible that you went through that helps to firm up who you are and what you are as a PA. And pretty much every PA student has something on the way that they have to overcome to get there. So I understand this is not how you intended to get here. You're also here because of the people sitting behind you. And today is a day to spare a thought to them, those of them who have been able to join us today, but also those who aren't with us today. Those folks who somewhere along the way contributed to your development, your progress, your learning, keep your laundry clean, keep you fed and housed while you got to this day. No one does this alone. And today's a day to spare a thought and a kind word to those folks that are responsible for you being here today. I know, I know that as Terry alluded to, the healthcare system that you are about to enter, well, it's not what we'd like it to be. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect. We have tons of data for that. There's an evidence base for the statement I just made. And in the pandemic, we can see that evidence. Do you know that in 1918, during the Great Flu pandemic that killed 50 million people in the world, 650,000 died in America? But in 2021 and 2022 with COVID, over 1 million people have died in America, and we're responsible for 15% of the known deaths worldwide to COVID. In the greatest prosperity in the world, in a healthcare system that has the greatest tools and equipment in the world. So we're not doing well. The healthcare system you are entering is broken in many ways. And it's your job to fix it, so get started. All right, maybe not fix it. But it is your job to know that. It's your job to recognize the inequities, the disparities, the ways that people suffer in this system because of their name, their zip code, things that shouldn't matter in that room between a provider and a patient. And so it's not a perfect system. You will need every ounce of that grit and resilience to maintain who you are and what you came here to do. And to be that. And that's the last thing I know today. I know that each and every one of you, a few years ago, wrote personal statements, wrote essays, got letters from references that all said amazing and wonderful things about who you were going to be as my colleague, as a PA. You wrote wonderful things about the people you were going to care for and how you were going to do it. And so you're here today because you and folks at MEDEX have kept your commitments, fulfilled your obligations to each other. But you've got one more promise that you made that it's time to fulfill now. And I'd hope that today you'll spare a moment to think about those things that you said, about the kind of provider you want to be and the kind of work you want to do, and be that. Congratulations. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves, and then start studying for the pants. apologize. I'm not supposed to walk away. I get very intimidated by things like applause. So, COVID has taken an opportunity to throw one more monkey wrench in your graduate experience. Our chosen keynote speaker, Jennifer Erickson, who preceded me in the coordinator role, is home recuperating today and sends her best and is very, very sorry that she couldn't be here in person to speak to you and to congratulate you. Pinch hitting for her today, and absolutely just as revered, is Quante Greenlee.
Yes, so this is a surprise even to me. So I got texted or emailed a couple of days ago, and they're like, Jennifer can't make it, can you talk? And I was just gonna say no. And then I got a text from Natasha yesterday. It was like, I heard you speaking. And I was like, I guess I have to say yes now. So here I am. And as requested, I'd like to give a shout out to my advisees. So Natasha, Donna Ray, Zoe, Kyle, Sarah. Am I missing anybody else? And then my adoptee advisees, Nikki and Joaquin. So if I miss anyone, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I called out everyone. But I've enjoyed all of you, so I'll just start my speech. So first of all, I want to say good morning, class, Tacoma Class 8, and congratulations on making it through the MEDEX program. I also want to say congratulations to the family and friends who have encouraged and supported you on your journey to becoming a PA. I know the past few years have been tough, and many of you have made sacrifices to fulfill your dream. I'm sure there were many sleepless nights, guilt about missing time with your loved ones, and times when you felt homesick. But despite these challenges, you persevered and are graduating today. When I left Kentucky in 2007 to start PA school, I never imagined I would be living in Seattle, let alone standing in front of you today giving a speech. Being asked to give this speech reminded me of two things. One, being a PA in life is about embracing the unexpected. Two, learn to say yes to things even when you are afraid. As a first-generation college student, my mother always encouraged me to pursue my dreams. But most importantly, she taught me not to let fear limit my opportunities. When I was asked to be today's keynote speaker, I really struggled on what I would talk about. How do I convey my perspective over the past 2 years, and what can I say that would adequately celebrate your new career? When I asked these questions, I remember your introduction to MEDEX, how many of you in the faculty encountered the unexpected. When I started here in 2019, I did not anticipate the next few years would be spent at home teaching from a laptop. I'm sure when you all interviewed and later received your acceptance letters, you did not envision learning online as well. However, despite imagination not aligning with reality, we all made it work. We all had to pivot and learn to deal with the unexpected, and in doing so, I think it helped prepare you for your future career. Being a PA will always present you with challenges, not only professionally, but personally. If there is anything to be learned from the pandemic, having issues with my tablet, technology, once again. If there's anything to learn from this pandemic, it is despite our race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, or political affiliation, we are all human. I think we forget that sometimes when we assign labels. Over the past few years, we've been witness to political unrest, social unrest, and the loss of millions of lives due to COVID. These events left many of us questioning the future of our nation and our place in society. But despite this unrest, it has also galvanized people to seek change for the better. Not many of you know this, but before I decided on a career in healthcare, I actually used to want to be a writer. I wanted to be like James Baldwin and Toni Morrison, two of my favorite authors and advocates. Like them, I wanted to contribute something positive to the world. One of my favorite quotes by James Baldwin says, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." Hearing this quote, I want you all to imagine your futures as PAs. Think of the things that inspire and motivate you. Think of that one patient, family member, or healthcare experience that became your reason for being here today. As you start to become more confident in your roles, find a way to make healthcare better, make the profession better, and become comfortable facing the things that others shy away from. One of the many reasons I entered PA education was to share with you all my love of the profession, social justice, and public health. I hope through our interactions I have inspired many of you to do the same. I might be telling my age by sharing this story, but one of my favorite cartoons as a child was Captain Planet. So if you're an 80s kid, 90s kid, you probably know about that. If you're not familiar with the show, it was about a group of teenagers from different nations who were all bestowed with magical rings to help save the earth from pollution and destruction. Each of the rings represented a different element. There was fire, earth, wind, water, and heart. And when they combined their powers, they would summon Captain Planet, who would defeat the bad guys and save the earth. I know it sounds weird, but it was actually a pretty good cartoon to an 8-year-old. However, I couldn't understand at that age what was the point of the heart ring. It seemed to be the weakest ability and pretty pointless in a fight. But now as a PA, I see it as the greatest power. The heart is both empathy and compassion, virtues that are required in our profession. I think as PAs, sometimes we underestimate the influence we have on our patients and communities. I think in the midst of writing prescriptions, ordering labs, writing notes, we start to associate ourselves with tasks rather than the impact we have on our patients' lives. Always remember that behind every patient, there is a story. As we move forward in an ongoing pandemic, we must not forget that many of our patients and colleagues are feeling hurt and broken. Many of them have lost a parent, a spouse, a child, or a friend to COVID. Some of them have even lost their entire families. Some of the best lessons we learn are from those who are the most vulnerable. So on the days when you feel burnt out and being a PA is tougher than expected, please remember your heart. Be compassionate and remind yourself why you entered this profession. So I would like to quote at the end Dr. Seuss. It's not green eggs and ham, but I think it's memorable. To the world, you may be one person, but to the one person, you may be the world. Please take that with you as you start your profession, and thank you.
Thank you, Quante. And as you know, no one man can replace Jennifer Erickson in this role. So Jonathan Marr is here to say a few words as well.
And it's not even close. P. Erickson is a force of nature. Oh, wow. So there's a lot of you out there. This is a little nerve-wracking. But part of being a PA is handling your discomfort and muddling through appropriately. Whoa, there we go, right distance. So why am I here? I had the great fortune to teach these guys emergency medicine, which I now am back practicing full time. Hopefully I taught you guys some good pearls. I'm also here because I got a text from Anthony early in the morning after a shift, waking me up. No worries, Anthony. Saying, P. Erickson's not available. Can you say a few words? And I am so proud of all of you that there is no way I could not say a few words. But then that led to the problem of what to say. And I'm a medical nerd, so I'm going to tell a few medical stories. De-identified, these are composite cases. This is HIPAA compliant, and I'm happy to sign paperwork to confirm that, because the job's never done until the paperwork's done. So keep that, always keep that in mind. But again, I am very proud of all of you, and the people who are here for you, they're proud of you too, and that is as it should be, because you've done an amazing thing. And how hard is the thing you did? Well, one of my former students said PA school was harder than SEAL team basic training. And that was prior to COVID. You did it with COVID. So you have done hard things and you have succeeded and you are here today. The bad news is there's more hard things in your future. So PANCE has been mentioned. Just know statistically the vast majority of you pass. I know that's not any relief, but statistically it's good news. The other part of this is you have your first job, and once upon a time I was there too, and the thing about my first job is I had anxiety dreams about harming or killing patients for the first 18 months. But then it got better. And no patients were killed in this process that I'm aware of, and I've tried to keep it that way for the rest of my career. My career in medicine dates back to, well, if we want to go hardcore, in 1988 when I joined the Navy and became a hospital corpsman, or more recently, 2000 when I graduated from MEDEX. So I've been through the process you've been through. Just know your first job is not a lifetime commitment. I'm currently on my fifth job, and jobs number 1, 3, 4, and 5 have all been amazing. And actually 2 started out really great, and the medicine was great, but there were complicating factors. But just know, learn from every job you're at. So, got the text from Anthony. I'm like, I can't let these guys down. What am I going to say? And I had actually had a really good shift. And I'm like, I'm going to tell some stories about why that was a good shift. Because it's shifts like that, and not every shift is like that, but it's shifts like that that keep me practicing medicine. Because I love this job. And my line I frequently use at parties is, becoming a PA was the second best choice I've ever made in my life. The first choice was marrying my wife. So hard things, but I know you guys can do them. All right. So jobs in medicine. There's no perfect job in medicine. All jobs in medicine are crazy. So I hear my colleagues in primary care, they've got a panel of 1,500, 2,000 patients. They have an inbox with email communications, the patients to see, all the refills. You know how many refills 2,000 patients generate over the course of a year? Anyway, that seems like a crazy job to me. Couldn't do it. But then I tell them what I do, and they think I'm crazy. So I practice at critical access hospitals. I'm a sole emergency medicine provider. I do 24-hour shifts. And I do this because I like to work as few days as possible. And I try and keep it to 5, but sometimes it's 8 or 9. Anyway, after this particular shift, thinking back about what made it a good shift, 3 patients in particular stand out. So the first patient shows up. I see him walking in. He's got his little 4-wheel walker that you can sit on, and he looks kind of young to be having one of those. He's drenched in sweat, and he's breathing a little fast. And I'm like, I think I'm going to go see him first. And when in doubt, when you don't know what to do, I've talked to these guys about airway, breathing, and circulation. Well, he was talking and walking, so I think those 3 were okay. Check the vital signs. Vital signs are vital. This gentleman was febrile to 103 degrees, so whopping fever. He literally was drenched in sweat, and it was not the 100-degree weather outside. He's having chest pain, and his pulse is 145. And so my immediate thought is, I need to get this guy to a real hospital, because my little hospital cannot care for this patient. But we do the things we do. I was worried about infection, so we got all the blood work, all the appropriate tests, got a chest x-ray, listened and examined. I heard some funny sounds on the right. I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's a pneumonia. We can deal with that. But 145, that's pretty fast. So, and he's at risk of something like sepsis, which kills, depending on the profile, 40 to 60% of patients. So see his chest x-ray, I don't see a pneumonia. But medicine is a team sport, and the radiologist did. Other things turned out good. It didn't look to be a heart attack. By the way, I'm coughing up blood, raising possibilities of other things like congestive heart failure or dissection in his aorta. These are all things that could kill him. But as it turns out, none of those were true. It really was a pneumonia. And I'd given him antibiotics early and hard, imipenem, in case you're wondering, among the students. Hit him hard because I didn't know what it was. And he also got lots and lots of IV fluids. His pulse came down. He initially needed some oxygen, did a breathing treatment, didn't need oxygen anymore. And 4 or 5 hours in, he was actually able to be admitted to my little hospital. So, yay, got a save. But the ER's backing up a little bit, a couple patients waiting to be seen. One of them is a young man, teenager, 16, 17, sore throat for 5 days. And my nurse says, oh, he's in a little bit of pain, but not so high acuity. So I see him second or third, and I walk in, and I say, how are you doing? And he kind of talks like this, and I went, oh no. And so I looked at the vital signs. What do we know? Fever of 102 and a pulse rate of about 120. So By vital signs, he's sick. By the way he's talking, he's sick. And when I go to look in his mouth, the way he can't open his mouth very well. Ever try to look in the back of somebody's throat through an opening that big? Not very easy. And then when I do look in the back of his throat, his anatomy is altered. And what I finally figure out is his uvula is all the way on the side, lying on top of his right tonsil. So I think he has a peritonsillar abscess. So IV line for him, fluids, empiric antibiotics, and a large dose of a steroid to reduce the swelling, so hopefully he can continue to breathe and swallow. This helped. I got a CT scan to confirm this, and indeed he did have a peritonsillar abscess. So I got to do a procedure I don't do very often, where I stick needles back there and I drain the abscess. And lo and behold, he does great. Voice goes back to normal, he's opening his mouth, and more importantly, he's had the first drink of water he's had in 8 hours. The little hospital I was at did not have a critical ingredient. Usually we do something called hurricane spray, which is high potency benzocaine. You spray in the back of somebody's throat. So I got to do a new thing I'd read about but never done, which is you take lidocaine, local anesthetic, you put it in a nebulizer we used to mist asthma medications, and he got to breathe that and numb up the whole back of his throat, which made the procedure much easier. I also loaded him up with some Ativan to kind of reduce the anxiety. Because he was an active part of this. So on one hand, he had suction. Have you guys ever been to the dentist where they have you put your mouth around the suction and spit into it to drain? So he got to do a lot of that. And then on the other hand, he had a speculum to hold his tongue down so I could see in the back of his throat. And he was a trooper, amazing kid, really impressed. And he was better. He got to go home. Another save, good case. It is now 2:30 in the morning. I've been at work for 16, 17 hours. I haven't had any sleep yet. ER's cleaned out, no patients. Get to lay down. Get an hour of sleep, and then the call comes to the call room. There's a mid-40s lady, shaky, and she's diabetic, but her blood sugar is 100. Like, okay. My brain was not functioning well. But I went to see her and talked to her, and actually she's had this shakiness before when her blood sugar was low. But she checked her blood sugar at home, and it was 70. And the shakiness is a little better, maybe mostly better, but still she's a little anxious about the whole thing. And so I talked to her for quite like 10 minutes, because diabetics can present with heart attacks that aren't your standard everyday chest pain. And I most certainly did not want to miss a heart attack in this lady. So I got an EKG, no signs of a heart attack. And then I had to contemplate whether to do cardiac enzymes or not to check her out. And so we had a long conversation, and I risk stratified her for cardiac risk factors. And then we did something called shared decision making, which is a horrible name where we talk things over and come up with a plan together. And she was feeling completely better, and we sort of hemmed and hawed a while, didn't do the cardiac enzymes. She went home, but she went home very relieved because that anxiety was less. And the other thing that maybe came up, she'd started a new medication 2 days prior, and maybe that was playing a role. So we actually had a cause for what was causing her symptoms, even if it wasn't low blood sugar. So, by the way, her vital signs, completely fine. Always got to check the vital signs. So, for me, this was a satisfying day. I got to help people. And I know some of you guys from even before your interviews, because they reviewed your applications. Others of you I got to meet at interview day, and everybody else I got to teach. And a consistent theme is you guys all care, and you want to help people. And in the day-to-day grind, it's sometimes easy to forget that. So down the road a couple of years, when you're feeling like it's a grind, keep in mind, I'm here to help people. And you may need to change your situation to be in a situation where you can help people. But that meaning is part of what keeps me going, and I'm hoping 20 years into your career, it's part of what keeps you going. So, certainly helping patients and helping them get better is incredibly rewarding. That second case was rewarding because I got to be MacGyver. and do a procedure I don't do very often and do things I'd never done before, which learning new things floats my boat. I'm a medical nerd, so that was cool. But more importantly, the patient got better. And then that third patient, I think there's 2 lessons there. So one, listen to your patients and believe their symptoms. They're the only person living their experience, and they're the best source of information you have. And 80% of your diagnoses will come from history alone. So listen to your patients. They'll tell you what you need to know. And it's how they know you care, is by you listening to them. So, and then the second part of that last case is sometimes it's hard, and you have to think about why you're there and what your beliefs are. And my belief is to always practice good medicine, no matter how hard it is for me personally or how hard I have to fight for my patient. And sometimes that involves figuring out ways around the system because we do not have the best system in the world. Again, different jobs, you'll find the right one. The advice I was given was your third job will be your right job. First job, you get your experience, not quite right, do a second, better, but not quite right. Third one, spot on. A lot of people have that experience, but like I said, first job, third job, fourth job, and fifth job have all been amazing for me. And I hope your career is similar in enjoyment. You know, there's a lot to enjoy taking care of patients. There's a lot that's hard. But find your meaning, practice good medicine, always listen to your patient, and never ever forget, or I will haunt you, check the vital signs. Thanks.
Thank you both for stepping in on very short notice. All right, good morning. Wow. See, you were doing pretty well earlier. Good morning. Good morning. Excellent. You guys doing okay? All right, for those of you who are not graduating today and starting to feel the firmness of your seat, we're getting through this. We're not going to be here all day, I promise you. My turn now to introduce the class officers. And when I was thinking about this earlier, we spend a lot of time talking about teamwork in PA education. And graduate education is a lot different than your undergraduate experience. And in my perspective, it's a lot better when it's collaborative and less prescriptive. And so we always rely on these people who serve their class to represent the class and communicate with us as faculty to help us serve their needs. So these folks are really important and have played an important role over the last few years. So as I say your name, I'd just like you to stand up and receive the recognition of the room. Assembly of Representative Delegates, Chelsea Mae Olson and Carolina Breed. Not that much recognition. Diversity Committee Representative Natasha Hartwig. Historian Nikki Samuel. Secretary Selena Kempton. Treasurer Patrick Carpenter. WAPA Student Representative Slava Glejan. Vice President Sunny Huang. And our president and our student speaker today, who I'll invite to the podium, Sarah Kreis.
Promise I'll keep this short so the firmness of the seat doesn't get to everyone. Good morning, faculty, family, friends, and of course my fellow TC8 PAs. I'm honored to be your class president and your student speaker. though to be fair, I had zero competition for either honor. So like, I'll be able to fit out the door, it's all right. This is what happens when democracy is thrust upon people who are like not prepared for it, are overworked, and are used to telling people what to do. But it's too late now, so we'll just go for it. The last 27 months have been a wild ride, to say the least. I would bet that every single one of us hit low points, questioned our entire path, and our abilities along the way. But today, we're on top of a pinnacle of achievement. And if we squint a little and we look back, we can see the path that got us here today. We started school online as the pandemic raged. This was supposed to be temporary, but we're here in person today, so that's good. We weathered a lot of technical difficulties, several microwave-induced internet failures, one or two incidents where we thought we were on mute, but definitely were not. Our class motto should probably be, no, you go ahead, or maybe, can you see my screen? Our Zooms got plenty of cameos from our family, whether intentioned or unintentioned, and lots of furry friends. We were flexible with our ever-changing calendars. We continued to learn during moments of historical importance where we may or may not have had Twitter open on the other screen as we followed along in class. We traversed the country, sometimes driving thousands of miles in a weekend to get from one rotation to another. We got used to our rotations and not feeling lost and being able to find the bathroom just in time to switch to another one. And we share this achievement with our loved ones. Many of you in the audience are deserving of an honorary degree for your hours of helping us study. We are very grateful to the sacrificed body parts and tolerant participation in our physical exams as we practiced to varying degrees of success at first. I promise we all know how to use an otoscope now, and I haven't stabbed anyone in the eardrum this week. This journey started before June of 2020, and it's absolutely incredible to think about the years of education and prereqs and patient care experience and application cycles that have all come together to this moment where we can call ourselves PAs. It has been an incredible journey, complete with joy, pain, terror, delight, death, and birth. We're entering our profession at a time when medicine, and indeed the world, is in turmoil. So I'm going to wrap up with a final inspirational quote attributed to an ancient rabbi. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. We are all in this together. We all have a role to play in the ever-unfolding journey of humanity, but I know that the future of medicine is safe, in safe hands with this group. I feel very strongly that whatever enables us to take this next step in our individual journeys is due in large part to the relationships we've formed and the perspectives we've shared and will continue to share with each other. With all the challenges we faced during this unprecedented moment in our history, we achieved our goals of becoming PAs, and I could not be prouder. Congratulations, TC8.
Sarah, as the person who I think gave you the advice to keep it short, I just want to say there was more to that advice than just keep it short. But that was perfect, thank you. This is not a labor strike that you're witnessing. The class has prepared a video, and we just wanted to get out of your way, so enjoy.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain. When I believed in forever and everything would stay the same. Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name. Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Hey. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. But everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back your memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost. And I felt all of the hatred was too powerful to stop. Now my heart feel like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you, and you know I'll never drop. Yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. But everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back your. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got, don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down. Can't none bring me down. The love is too hot. Bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down. Can't none bring me down. The love is too hot. Bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? So my name is Krissa. I'm one of the newest faculty members, and it is my absolute honor to recognize our service members. As a MEDEX graduate and a veteran myself, I think that PA school is a lot like the military. There's a lot of perseverance through pain, a lot of dedication, and a lot of hurry up and wait. So with that being said, I would like to recognize our military members. Do you want them to come up or just stand up? Okay, so if you guys could please stand when I read your name. We have Lewis Bradshaw, Petty Officer, 2nd Class. James Mays, Sergeant, U.S. Army. And Shinsung Yuk, Sergeant 1st Class, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
So today I'm going to present some Golden Apple Awards to some outstanding providers out there who were able to either teach you in didactic year or in clinical year. And unfortunately, neither of them could be here today. Dieter Michael Kaiser, a PA out in the community, is one of our recipients, as well as Con Nguyen, MD, who is unfortunately having to work today because her partner was out sick today. So everybody, round of applause for our Golden Apple winners. I have the honor of presenting the Leadership Award. So this is the John B. Coombs MD Award. And Dr. Coombs was the Associate Dean for Regional Affairs and Rural Health in the School of Medicine and had a long record of promoting the PA profession. This award is presented to students in each campus who have become role models to their peers, have assumed some of the responsibilities of leadership during their training, and have carried out these responsibilities with integrity, cooperation, and understanding. This student deserves this leadership award for several reasons. They showed up for every event with a professional attitude, setting a great example for their peers. They appropriately elicited and received feedback with poise. Their clinical year preceptors were impressed by their hard work, humility, and empathy. These are important qualities to have as a PA. So I'd like to take a moment to honor Nikki Samuel for the Leadership Award. Come on.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Quantum.
Hello, it's me again. So the next award we'll be presenting is the Ellen Harder Award. This award recognizes a student who embodies a sense of wanting to serve the underserved, a sense of representing those who are underrepresented, as well as encouraging social justice in our profession. So the following recipient of this student is also an advisee of mine, so I'd like to welcome Zoe Zeinberg to the stage.
I get to give the prettiest award. It's a privilege of the chair. No, I actually had nothing to do with that. The Spirit of MEDEX Award recognizes a student on each campus who has dedicated themselves to their goal of being a physician assistant, who's shown compassion and sensitivity to others, who's maintained their humor and perseverance in the face of adversity. They have a positive attitude and are ambassadors for the program throughout their MEDEX training. And the plaque on this award reads, Spirit of MEDEX Award to Chelsea Mae Olson. Your positive attitude made you an ambassador for the program throughout your training.
Sorry, I don't get to get in front of a microphone very often. So, as a retired military officer, PA, and flight surgeon, I get the honor of presenting the Stephen Turnup PAC Veterans Award. This award goes to Shin Sung Yu. It goes to recognizes the MEDEX student who is a military veteran for demonstrating outstanding leadership within the MEDEX class and exceptionally meritorious service within the local community.
All right, it's me again. Betty is at work, so I'm going to go ahead and do the Student Writing Award. And this award is given to students from the various campuses who have combined creativity and unique approaches with exceptional writing skills in assigned papers. And the award goes to Patrick Carpenter.
Everybody doing good? All right, you made it. We're there. So, what we're going to do is have the students come up the stage to my right. Bonnie will be here to call their names. The faculty and I will hand out their certificates and apply their coats.
Okay, first group, go ahead and line up. Just like we practiced. You got this. Okay, I now present to you the class of 2022 graduates, Tacoma Class 8, Kari Ayers. Lewis Bradshaw. Carolina Breed. Jeremy Bryant. Patrick Carpenter. Slava Glizhin. Congratulations. Karen Harris. Natasha Hartweg. Congrats. Xinhui Wang. Anna Casper. See you later. Selena Kempton. Oh, yay. Congratulations. Sarah Kreis. Joaquin Lizaula. Congratulations. Jen Lovato. James Mays. Chelsea Olson. Kyle Pine.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yes, of course.
Lad Rutherford. Nikki Samuel.
Congratulations.
Callie Smith.
Congratulations.
Ellie Stone.
Congratulations.
Donna Ray Vasquez.
Congratulations.
Zoe Weinberg.
Congratulations.
Shin Sung Yuk.
Come here. Congratulations. Yes, thank you.
So I just want to close with just a few words. So for those of you out there that don't know, I started teaching 3 days before we went online. And so this cohort has been a very, very interesting and special cohort to me because I got to learn how to do a brand new job that I'd never done before, all on something I'd never heard of called Zoom, which I'm now all too familiar with. And when I look back at that time, I had, applied for the job in fall of 2019, and nobody could have anticipated this. And I always say that PA school was the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life. You learn a lot, and you grow, and I think right now I can say that seeing you guys go through this is that I had it easy because I actually got to go to class, and I got to sit in class. This was a very, very unique situation we were all in together, and I'll always remember you for that, okay? You're my only cohort I will see from the beginning to the end, as I move on to clinical again in November with a couple of you out there. But I just wanted to say that I remember thinking to myself that I was missing stuff all the time, that I never had colleagues to sit next to help me figure out where to find things on the server. I had to make an effort to say, hey, Jonathan, can you help me out? Because we couldn't be together. I had no office to go to. When I recorded Panoptos, I recorded them to my cats. And my husband, who coincidentally was with me through PA school, so it wasn't anything new to him to have a bunch of medical jargon. The only one he couldn't watch was the I one. There were times when I really thought I had the short end of the stick, and I remember hearing that from you all too, that because, in stressful times we express frustration, and we're human, we do that, right? So I want you all to remember that what you didn't get is real, and you're validated for not having some of the things that other PA cohorts had, right? But you also got a lot of stuff that you had no idea that you were gonna get. You learned how to be more self-directed learners. You learned how to be more resilient, Kyle. And you will take that with you actually forever now. Okay, you've done one of the hardest things I thought was, capable of a human being doing, but you did it under extenuating circumstances. And I want to recognize you all, you Tacoma Class 8, for pulling through. You did it. There were crazy Zoom technical difficulties often. We had to do fake patient cases on Zoom. You all met all of my family for behavioral medicine as your actors. We had to talk about things like suicide and drug addiction over the computer. And when some of you had a hard day and you were in tears after an event, I couldn't be there in person to console you and to remind you that it was okay. It's just not the same as being in person. So I just want you to be proud of yourself. Be very proud of yourself for getting to this point, because you did this under really fantastic circumstances, and you did it with grace. Not always, because we're humans, right? But for the overall experience that I look back on, I think you all deserve a big hearty pat on the back, and remember that going forward. You're going to face challenges, but you got through this under these circumstances. And so thank you for being my only entire class I'll get to experience as a PA educator. I really appreciate it. So have a wonderful day. Before we depart and everything, we're going to actually have Mike come back up here with some closing remarks. And then after that, we're going to do a class photo. So everybody hang tight.
Thank you all again so much for being here early on a weekday. I would like to present to you the TC8 class of 2022. Congratulations. As Bonnie said, while the faculty dives for the hand sanitizer, the students are going to come up and take a little class photo. Thank you, Nikki. I thought that was funny, too. And please take advantage of some light snacks in the back, and we will join you shortly. Thank you all. Just like we drew it up.